Have you ever felt like something about your masculinity was wrong? Modern society doesn't just whisper doubts about manhood, it shouts them, mocks them, and pressures you to apologize for being a man. But if you listen beyond the noise, the ancient Stoics offer a powerful truth: you are not broken. You are simply unrefined. In today's world, men are told to question their very nature. Masculinity is not embraced but criticized. Strength is mistaken for aggression. Stoic calm is mislabeled as emotional coldness. Leadership is demonized as oppression. Yet through the chaos, the ancient Stoics remain like a silent compass pointing us home. They remind you, there is nothing wrong with you. You were never meant to apologize for being male. You were meant to sharpen your strength, discipline your mind, and live as an embodiment of virtue. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." That one sentence contains your freedom. You're not wrong for craving strength, courage, honor, and mastery. You were born to pursue them. So where should you start? With the 5 timeless Stoic lessons every modern man must internalize to reclaim his peace, pride, and purpose. Lesson 1. Masculinity is not a flaw. It is a force for good. Stoicism teaches that virtue is the highest good, and many masculine traits are deeply aligned with this ideal. Think about it. Courage in the face of fear, self-discipline in the face of temptation, rational thought in the face of chaos. Manius Rufus, a lesser-known Stoic, once said, "A man should not spend his time in idle pleasure, but in labor, in endurance, and in the pursuit of virtue." Masculine energy, when governed by wisdom, builds civilizations. It shapes men who protect the vulnerable, bear heavy burdens, and stand up when others shrink away. Masculinity is not the problem. The lack of virtue to guide it is. Unguarded strength can devolve into recklessness. But strength governed by discipline, that becomes greatness. Why does this matter? Because society's assault on masculinity leaves men confused. Instead of refining their strength, they suppress it. And a man who sees himself as wrong will either collapse into weakness or erupt in bitterness. But when masculinity is reclaimed as a force for good, a man restores his inner confidence, his purpose, and a steady pride that no one can take away. How do you apply it? Stop apologizing for your masculine traits. Instead, sharpen them like a sword in the hands of a just warrior. See your strength not as a threat, but a sacred responsibility. Lesson 2. Emotional mastery is not suppression, it's power. Modern culture often makes a dangerous mistake. It confuses emotional self-control with emotional coldness. But the ancient Stoics understood far better. They didn't teach you to feel less. They taught you to feel deeply, but to respond with wisdom, not impulse. Seneca put it simply, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." A true Stoic man does not bury his emotions. He experiences them, studies them, and then chooses the response that best serves his higher principles. He is not dragged by anger, ruled by fear, or blinded by desire. To master your emotions is not to disown your humanity, it is to elevate it. Why does this matter? Because too many men today are told that being Stoic means being distant, unfeeling, or cold. But the truth is this: emotional mastery is what empowers a man to protect, to love deeply, and to lead with clarity. Calmness under fire is what makes a man worthy of trust from others and from himself. How do you apply this? Train yourself to pause between stimulus and response. In that pause lies your freedom. View emotions like passing weather. You are not the storm. You are the mountain it rolls over. Redirect strong emotion into focused, productive action, not repression, not explosion. And remember this Stoic reminder: mastering your emotions doesn't make you less human. It makes you the best version of yourself. Lesson 3. Your worth is in your virtue, not in the world's applause. We live in a time obsessed with attention and validation. Likes, claps, followers, trophies. The modern mind is ruled by numbers. But for the Stoic, worth is invisible to the crowd. It is deeply rooted in character. Epictetus taught, It is not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them. Your worth is not tied to your money, your title, or how loudly others cheer. It is revealed in how you live by your principles, even when no one's watching. Why does this matter? Because the moment you link your self-worth to external approval, you've handed your power to the mob. But if you root your value within, you become like a fortress, steady, immovable, unshaken. He creates his own code of honor and lives by it, even if no one else sees. He sets goals based on his values, not fleeting public trends. Each night, he asks himself, was I true to myself today? Not, did others approve of me? A Stoic reminder, approval is a distraction. Virtue is the true prize. Lesson 4. A man's nature is to struggle, to grow, and to triumph. Many men today wrongly assume that struggling means failing. But the Stoics saw it differently. Struggle is not weakness, it is the forge of strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." Hardship is not a sign you're broken, it's the raw material from which greatness is shaped. When you face resistance, it's not because something is wrong, it's because you are being transformed. Why does this matter? Because expecting an easy life makes you soft, but expecting a hard one builds unbreakable character. The modern man must stop seeing obstacles as punishment. They are training grounds. Struggle is not the enemy. It is the fire that tempers your soul like steel. How to apply it when hardship hits? Say this, good. A chance to sharpen myself. View setbacks not as stop signs but as stepping stones. Cultivate patience. Growth is slow but its rewards are lasting. A Stoic reminder, the world tests you not to break you but to reveal you. Lesson 5. Rediscover the sacred duty of self-respect. At the core of Stoic philosophy lies the inviolable dignity of the individual. You owe it to yourself to live with honor, to respect your own soul, and to demand excellence from yourself before expecting it from others. Epictetus once said, "Know first who you are, and then adorn yourself accordingly." Self-respect is not arrogance, it's the recognition that you've been entrusted with a soul capable of strength, wisdom, and moral beauty, and a refusal to betray it for comfort, praise, or fear. Why does this matter? Because without self-respect, others will define you and diminish you. But with it, you naturally repel disrespect and attract those worthy of your time and trust. Self-respect is your armor. It shields you from manipulation, self-doubt, and cowardice. How to apply it? Refuse to compromise your values just to be accepted. Set standards that are non-negotiable and live them every day. The first 3 lessons gave you the foundation, these final to complete the structure. But there's still one piece left. When you feel tempted to betray your better nature, pause and ask, will I still respect myself tomorrow? A Stoic reminder, respect for yourself is the foundation of all real strength. True strength isn't forged in applause or comfort or approval. It's built quietly in struggle, resistance, and self-mastery. The Stoic man understands that the world may misjudge him, reject him, or attack his virtue, but it cannot break him unless he first breaks faith with himself. In part 1, we explored 5 essential lessons every modern man must reclaim. Now, we go deeper into 6 more Stoic principles to help you live unbroken in a broken world. Lesson 6. Reclaim the ancient ideal of the virtuous warrior. In Stoic philosophy, the warrior was never just a fighter. He was a protector of peace, a guardian of justice, a servant of virtue. His strength was tempered by wisdom. His courage was anchored by reason. Musonius Rufus reminds us, a wise man does nothing unwillingly, nothing against his better judgment. Modern society has distorted masculinity into a cartoon, brash, mindless, aggressive. But the real warrior is thoughtful, principled, and only dangerous when necessary. Why does this matter? Because strength without restraint destroys, but strength guided by discipline uplifts. The world today desperately needs strong men who can face chaos without becoming chaotic themselves. Reclaiming the warrior archetype means becoming a pillar of steadiness in unstable times. How to apply it? Train your body to be capable. Train your mind to be calm. Train your spirit to be virtuous. Live by a personal code of honor that governs your strength. Never seek conflict, but be ready to face it when your principles call. A Stoic reminder: strength without virtue is tyranny. Strength with virtue is nobility. Lesson 7. Accept radical responsibility for everything within your control. The weak man blames. The strong man owns everything he can influence. Epictetus taught, make it your study, therefore, to confront every harsh impression with the words, you are but an impression, and not at all the thing you appear to be. Then test it by your rules, especially this one. Does it concern what's within my control? The Stoic man does not avoid reality. He separates what's in his control from what is not, and for what is within his control, he claims full responsibility. While you can't control everything, you are fully responsible for your mindset, your choices, your reactions, and ultimately, your destiny. This is radical responsibility. It doesn't mean carrying the world. It means owning what you can without blame, without excuse. Why does this matter? Because responsibility unlocks power. Blame makes you weak, it surrenders your agency. But owning your life accelerates growth, maturity, and personal mastery. How to apply it? Eliminate excuses from your vocabulary. Stop asking, why is this happening to me? Start asking, what will I do about this? Take full control of your habits, reactions, and focus. Recognize your life reflects your standards. If you want a better life, raise the standard. A Stoic reminder: freedom belongs to those who refuse to blame. Lesson 8. Have the courage to be misunderstood. The strength to stand alone. If you live by a higher code, prepare to walk alone sometimes. Seneca said, it is the power of the mind to be unconquerable. The man who speaks truth without fear and acts with justice without needing applause, he will often be misunderstood, maybe even hated. But the Stoic does not bend to please. He stands firm, knowing that pleasing the mob is not the measure of a good life. Why does this matter? Because truth is often unpopular. Doing right is often lonely. History is full of great men who were mocked while alive and honored only after death. Approval is fleeting. Integrity is forever. How to apply it? Build the muscle of acting without applause. Endure without needing sympathy. Measure yourself by timeless principles, not trendy opinions. Understand, solitude is sometimes the companion of greatness. A Stoic reminder: better to walk alone in truth than march with the crowd in error. Lesson 9. Live as a creator, not a consumer. Passive consumption numbs the soul. Mindless entertainment, constant distraction, indulgence without purpose, all of these drain your willpower and dull your ambition. Marcus Aurelius wrote, do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about others. Instead, be occupied only with what belongs to you. To live as a creator means to engage with life, to build, contribute, and leave more behind than you take. Why does this matter? Because consumption breeds weakness and entitlement. Creation, however, builds gratitude, inner strength, and lasting purpose. Picture the man who strengthens his body, sharpens his mind, refines his character, and creates meaningful work. That man becomes essential wherever he is. How to apply it? Focus your energy every day on what you are building, your skills, projects, habits, and relationships. Limit passive entertainment. Feed your mind with challenge and knowledge. Take pride not in what you own, take pride in what you create. A Stoic reminder: leave behind monuments of virtue, not monuments of consumption. Lesson 10. Anchor your life in a purpose greater than pain. Pain is part of life. Betrayal, loss, failure, they visit every man who dares to live fully. What separates the broken from the unbreakable is one thing: purpose. Epictetus advised, first, say to yourself what you would be. Then, do what you have to do. Without purpose, pain crushes. With purpose, pain refines. Why does this matter? Because pain without purpose breeds despair, but purpose transforms suffering into strength. The man who lives for something greater than comfort cannot be defeated by discomfort. How to apply it? Define your mission clearly. What are you building? Who are you serving? What legacy are you creating? Reframe every hardship as training for greater service and deeper strength. Remind yourself daily, this pain is shaping me for my purpose. A Stoic reminder, he who has a why can endure anyhow. Lesson 11. Master the invisible battles. The greatest battles a man faces are often invisible. The war against procrastination, the temptation to quit, the bitterness that creeps in quietly, the whisper of mediocrity in your thoughts. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." The real war is within each day. You either win or lose in the battles that decide the outer results of your life. Why does this matter? Because the world only sees the surface of what you're fighting. Victory in invisible battles. Discipline. Focus. Emotional resilience makes visible triumphs inevitable. Control your mind, and you will control your life. How to apply it? Wage war on procrastination, entitlement, laziness and bitterness. Celebrate silent victories. The workout you finished when exhausted, the anger you controlled when provoked. Those moments may go unnoticed, but they are the truest triumphs of all. The courage you summon in fear, the discipline you choose in silence, these are shaping you into someone unstoppable. Every time you resist bitterness, every time you push through doubt, every small, private victory, it compounds into an unbreakable spirit. A Stoic reminder, true strength is forged in battles no one sees. You are not broken. You are becoming. Society is wrong about you. Masculinity is not a flaw. Emotional control is not weakness. Struggle is not failure. And needing time to grow strength, wisdom, and mastery does not mean you're defective. You are not broken. You are being forged. Every hardship you face, every virtue you cultivate, every storm you endure is chiseling you closer to the man you were always meant to become. Marcus Aurelius urges, dig deep within yourself, for there is a fountain of goodness ever ready to flow if you will keep digging. You are not here to change your nature, you are here to perfect it, to polish the natural strengths you were born with, until they shine bright enough to inspire others. The Stoic man does not conform to the times. He rises above them. He does not apologize for his strength, his discipline, or his presence. He embodies the man in doing so. He lights a path for others to follow. You are not broken. You're just getting started.